Hello, everybody. This is Sri from BizBuzz. What matters the most in your business, and sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly catering to service-based small businesses. Now, today we are going to talk about why meetings feel productive but solve nothing without workflow clarity, and busy calendars aren't the same as real momentum. Now, we have, as a small businesses, we do meetings, and at the same time, we hate meetings. We don't like meetings. Why we don't like meetings is primary reason is we don't feel them they are productive. This is a very common uh, theme, pretty much all across the board. Whether it is a small business or a large business, it is the same situation. Now let's dive into and see why these things feel uh, unproductive. Now, the meetings happen, but no one wrote down what's the next. Decisions live in memories, and tasks never make it to the board. See, that's what happens. So, as soon as you start a meeting, somebody has to either volunteer or those who are leading the meeting should identify the person who will be taking the notes. And if you start off a meeting, hey, who is going to take the notes today and draw the conclusions and share it with everybody? Now somebody will volunteer in, and that is where the decisions will be written down, and then we don't have a problem. The decisions lives in memory, and then everybody comes back and say, "Oh, this is what I thought we decide on the meeting." So we can remove the possibilities of excuses. And the next one is everyone leaves aligned until they go back to different tools. So we all we all have seen this happening all the time in meetings. Everybody thinks, yeah, we are all on the same page. We are going and we are going to do it. We are going to conquer the world. But guess what? Everybody goes back and they start using different tools for taking different actions. And although the meeting actions have been identified and documented, but the decisions have not clearly explained who is using what kind of tools. And that is going to leave a trouble in the process of execution. Now, we need to make sure the tools are identified when we are going to create the action list on the meeting notes. And now ownership stays vague. Now, who is doing what, by when, using what context, all these things need to be hashed out before the meeting is concluded. So when meeting conclusions are written down, number one, we need to make sure what is the task and what is the action item, and then what kind of tools are to be used in order to execute that action item. And then the third point we need to make sure we added in there is who is going to do it and by when that action will be taken and by what context. So now we are coming to the point of meetings are going to become productive, at least in the positive direction, when we start making all these notes. Now, but at the same time, we also have to recognize the fact that this have to be a decision before even we start the meeting. Whether it is a meeting between two people or it is a meeting between dozen people, either way, it works the same thing. Who is leading the meeting, or somebody has to say who is going to be volunteer in taking the notes and drafting the conclusions and sharing with everybody. That's what the beginning of the meeting. And let's look at this. Follow-ups rely on memory. If someone forgets, the work stalls, no reminders and no progress. So at the same time, when you are jotting down what are all the items or actionable items that we are concluding in the meeting, and we now have ability to uh, take the person responsible for taking these actions and what are all the tools that are being used. Now the next step is we also need to identify who is the follow-up. Now, if the actions are interdependent, let's say if the first action has to be completed in order to have the second action to be taken. there may be a chain of actions needed to be done in the meeting. So we have to identify the dependencies and follow-up mechanism. And if we identify that, then it will become easy. If we don't identify, people will forget, or they can say, oh, I was expecting an email from you. No, I already told you on the phone. So these kind of excuses will pop up, and then we, as a leaders or owners of the company, we don't know which way to go. So if we have that formed up and tightened up, who is going to follow up and by which way they are going to follow up, that's going to be very clear for everybody to work. And the work gets done, just not how anyone expected. So no shared workflows, no visibility, no way to course correct. This is a major, major challenge in any meetings. So at the end of the meeting, we need to also identify where is this actionable items going to be shared and stored, and whether it's a SharePoint folder or a Google Docs folder or it's a database or a CRM system, whatever it is, but those need to be stored somewhere. And we also need to make sure everybody has a visibility to these actionable items. Otherwise, you're leaving opportunity for having an excuse or a, a break in the workflow. And if somebody can't access the files that needed to be accessed, or somebody don't know what are the actions that have been decided in the meeting, but they can't see it and they don't remember everything. So that's going to break the workflow. And when something is going wrong, we need these meeting notes and actionable items to be able to refer so that we can do the course correction. And this is very, very important. Not only just drafting the meeting notes and actionable items, we also make sure this information and these conclusions have to be placed in where everybody can see it, everybody can access it, and it has immediately available for making the course corrections. And that gives us to the last part. Meetings help you talk. Workflows help you move. My work belt connects the two so your team doesn't lose what matters the most. So you meet, you take the notes, you make the actionable list items, and you upload them all into the same tool, and everybody makes use of the same tool. And that way, everybody is on the same page, everybody can work on the same pace, everybody knows who is depending on each other, and the chain of command and the workflow will continue move forward. So meetings do help for talking, but workflows are the one helping you to move forward. So I hope this is helpful for you. You're taking these tips and apply in your business right away and make your meetings highly productive. And hopefully you are taking away with this one and helping improve your business. Again, this is Sri from BizBuzz, What Matters the Most in Your Business, and sponsored by myworkbelt.com. Until next time, see you then. Bye bye.